What's up guys, B-Rob here, and today I'm going to talk about this well-known myth. I'm going to talk about tryptophan and sleepiness. I'll be right back. So over the years, there's been many myths born from small segments of nutritional truths. And some of these include fats will make you fat, all carbs are bad, and tryptophan makes you sleepy. Or around Thanksgiving time, you hear that turkey makes you sleepy, right? Well, as with most generalities, these myths could be true if you add other factors in, but actually it takes a lot, right, for some of this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about just the one-to-one. So the tryptophan, tryptophan equals sleep, right? And so what I've decided to do was make this video and blog about this in order to have one more source to dispel this misinformation that tryptophan or turkey makes you sleepy. So today I'm going to tackle this, and hopefully you can follow along. So let's start with, what is tryptophan? So tryptophan is an essential amino acid, and basically what that means is your body cannot make this on its own, so you have to get this from your diet. Now turkey, chicken, other poultry, meats such as lamb, rabbit, nuts, cheese, yogurt, fish, milk, eggs, all these have tryptophan. And although turkey is a good source of tryptophan, chicken actually has a slight bit more tryptophan than turkey. And so your body uses tryptophan to make things like niacin, which is a B vitamin, but also your body makes serotonin, which serotonin is used to make melatonin, which this small segment is where I assume that turkey makes you sleepy, that myth came from. Okay, so let's talk about tryptophan and serotonin. So yes, research shows that serotonin is a brain chemical that is used to make melatonin, and that melatonin is a hormone that aids in sleep and wake cycles. So yes, that is true, but it's not as black and white when it comes to tryptophan. So research shows that tryptophan is what is described, scientists describe it as a bulky amino acid, which means that it takes a little bit more to get it through the blood-brain barrier. As a matter of fact, it's so hard for it to get through there that a lot of times tryptophan can't make it through because other amino acids make it through before, right? So how does tryptophan get into the brain in order to affect serotonin? Well, I'm glad you asked. So here's my analogy. Here's how I make it clear from reading all the research. And this whole video and my blog is based on research, and what I use is scholarly references. I use university research papers. I do use WebMD to check it out. I do use like Mayo Clinic. So I use a lot of scholarly references in order to make sure that this works. I stay away from a lot of .com sites because just kind of like what I'm doing now. I am giving you my spill on this, but I did go back and pull from scholarly references, right? So my analogy is this. So the way my brain relates this tryptophan to waiting to get through the blood-brain barrier in order to affect your serotonin is, it's kind of like if you're standing in the back of a long line and you're waiting to get into a famous place, whether it's like a club or a famous restaurant, or waiting to see this movie that everybody wants to see, right? So you're kind of like in the back of the line waiting to get in, when all of a sudden here comes somebody that's famous that you know, and they know you, and that's the carbohydrate, right? So you're the tryptophan. Here strolls your famous friend, carbohydrate. They recognize you, you recognize them. They're like, hey, you don't have to wait in line, follow me. They get you in ahead of everybody else, and boom, now you're in, right? So that's how tryptophan makes its way through the blood-brain barrier in order to affect serotonin, which affects melatonin, right? So it can't be done alone. So in conclusion, eating turkey alone does not make you sleepy, right? And just like eating chicken alone may not make you sleepy, it takes a few more things in order to make that happen. So you have to eat turkey, chicken, all these meats, even milk. You hear the myth that a big glass of milk will help you go to sleep because of the tryptophan that's in it. No, not necessarily. If it works for you, it could be placebo or it could be something else, but it's not as clear, as black and white as tryptophan equals sleep, okay? Because for the reasons that I named earlier in this video. All right, so It has to be the right amount of carbs to help get it through the blood-brain barrier. All right, so remember that, and remember it is a myth. But what probably gets you sleepier around Thanksgiving time is I've seen some studies that suggest that around Thanksgiving time you have an environmental situation where you're around your family, you're off from work, it's expected for you to be off from work, so we're at a more relaxed time. In a lot of parts of the world it's cooler outside, and so it's a relaxed time, so we're already in a more relaxed mood. And yes, some people have family that does relax them, so you're in a more relaxed mood. But then on top of that, you're eating a lot of food, and some research has shown that people eat anywhere up to like 300 grams of protein that day when they're not used to eating that much. Now, for somebody like me, that's a good amount for me to eat because I lift a lot of weights. But a lot of people aren't used to eating that. But on top of that, they're eating a lot of carbs too, and the stuffing and the cornbread and the pies and cakes, the desserts that are offered too. So there's a lot of protein, a lot of carbs, a lot of everything going on. So that's probably what's making you sleepy, but it's not the tryptophan equals sleep. All right. So thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. This is B-Rob, and I'll see you guys later.